Well, good evening. It's 6:30 on Sunday night, the seventh day of lockdown, the end of a very long and tedious week. What have you been up to today? What have you been up to every day while you've not been able to do anything? I've been pretty much bored shitless most of the time and really kind of lacking motivation. I've been really struggling with the fact that everything I want to do requires me to go out or to do something or to buy something or to have something I can't do. And there are loads of jobs around the house that, like we all do, we put them off for ages and so we haven't got time for it. Well, now we have got the time for it, and the time kind of is now. However, I'm feeling like a severe lack of motivation at the moment, because I feel that I'm being suppressed and restricted and held back from achieving the goals, my goals. Now, probably like many of you, I had quite a few goals set for the year this year. Big projects we were going to work on, things that were going to happen. Things that had to happen by summer or the end of summer, because of other changes in our lives. So I'm feeling very held back at the moment, very restricted, and quite concerned about what's going on. I'm really not convinced that what we're being told by the government about what's happening now is the truth of the situation. And I've spoken to many other people, and I know many of you feel similarly, that something just doesn't feel right. We can't put our finger on it, we don't quite know what's going on. But there are lots and lots of questions and very few answers to it, just come up with. And one of the questions that I've been made aware of over the last day or two, and it's suggesting that that coronavirus isn't new. Well, we know coronaviruses aren't new, they've been around for ages. Now, this particular strain is fairly new. But the issue being that, that even this particular strain may not be new. The only thing that's new is a test. Previously we didn't test for it, and now we are testing for it. So what does that mean? Does that mean that this disease isn't what they're saying it is, and this is within the realms of normal seasonal flu type issues? Is it worse than they're saying? That's obviously the converse view. Is it worse than we're being told? Is it worse than the official figures? Now, it's very, very hard to find any reliable sort of information here. And I think this is where governments and mainstream media and even alternative media sources have really fucked up over the last few years, or maybe as part of their plan. But what's happened is that we're in a situation now where there seems to be no reliable source of information. Everything has a question mark about it. And the biggest question, obviously, throughout all of this is who stands to gain the most from this situation. That's not a question I'm going to answer for you now, but that is a question that we should be asking. Who stands to gain from the current pandemic, the current situation? And obviously, one of the companies going to benefit significantly is the testing companies, the company making these testing kits. There is a demand now from around the globe. Obviously, half the globe, probably 3 or 4 billion people, demanding, are going to want testing. That's a huge market. You've created a market for something that spreads across the entire world. That's amazing, isn't it? That you have got a product you don't know what to do with, and you create a situation because of your new test, and your new test shows that there's this new disease that's spreading around the world really quickly, and as a result, then people have a demand for your test, and so potentially you've got a captive audience of 7 billion people, 7 billion people needing testing. Now, just think about it. This has already been mentioned by our own government. That theoretically everyone should be tested. Everybody should be tested. They're words that they're talking about. And so what that means? Does that mean that we should have a compulsion to be tested? And if we're compelled to be tested and we're found to carry coronavirus, are we then compelled to a treatment program for that? It's something I just feel really uncomfortable about. I can't put my finger on it at the moment. I really don't know what is going on and what the agenda is with this. And I obviously have massive concerns about any kind of compulsion for either testing or for follow-up treatments afterwards. And so what I'm urging really is that everyone takes everything they're hearing on mainstream media and everything they're hearing on alternative media with a big pinch of salt. What do we know? We know we're being presented with a disease that is potentially, could wipe out quite a few people. We also know that so far a large number of the people that have been dying from this have had a serious number of pre-existing conditions, that a majority have been very elderly or very frail. So that is what we know so far. We don't know anything else really. That is the reality of it. We don't know whether there's a pre-existing flu that's going around and we're just being told it's something else. So far it seems that the death statistics around the world aren't any higher than they would have been in a normal year. However, I think it's probably too soon to actually identify that at the moment. We're difficult to pull that one up. We just don't know. So yeah, what have you been up to on your Sunday today? Tell me about your day. Tell me about your week. What are you going to do in the weeks ahead? We're being told we're going to be under isolation for potentially another 6 months. That's quite a depressing thought, and that's going to have some real knock-on effects on people, and people's mental health will take a hit, by being told something like that, and that'll then push their immune systems down, and with obviously potential consequences that more people could be affected. So how are you feeling today? Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling, and tell me what you've been up to. Okay, I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.